Half a day, everybody. Jason Salas here with Dave Delgado and Andy Wheeler, a skeleton crew, as it were, this week for Pigskin Pick'ems, because, of course, Ken Nicholas and Chris Malfunction Barnett are in the Philippines doing their duties for PXC. But, guys, we are talking about Week 11 in the NFL. Some big games right now, especially because the playoff picture is shaping up. The Pro Bowl rosters are coming out, so you know the players are trying to put their best foot forward. Right. The game we have, the early morning game that you want to watch on at 4 a.m. on KUAM TV 11, Dave, is the Bengals at the Saints. Now, the dynamic of these two teams is interesting because these are two teams that are really stacked on all sides of the ball. They can be incredibly explosive, but they have let some games get away from them this season.
Well, definitely the Saints, led by Drew Brees. They definitely have a running back in Mark Ingram that's been able to break 100-plus yards for the last couple of games. The receiving core definitely getting the job done, but it's just like you said, the team's not able to finish games, and that's what's really hurt both teams. And in that matchup, I'm looking at the Saints picking up the win at home. I know they had a real tough loss to the 49ers, and I look for them to bounce back.
Mm-hmm. Andy Dalton,
yeah,
a fellow Andy,
right.
Your QBR can't get any worse than what he had last week and everything like that. How does he bounce back, and basically, who is more valuable to the outcome of the game? Jimmy Graham for the Saints or A.J. Green for the Bengals, if they do play full speed?
I think if Jimmy Graham is on, that's, money for the Saints right there. And, of course, A.J. Green, he's a huge part of it, but Andy Dalton just hasn't been able to get it to him. And, both these teams, it's not a divisional game. They're different conferences, so it's not in the playoff picture really, but both these teams are just kind of floundering a little bit. And like you said, you look at them on paper, they are stacked teams. And you've got Drew Brees. He's just not having the season, and the defense is just not really getting it done. So like you said, they're losing games in the fourth quarter. But I think it's a huge win for either one of these teams. They really need to step it up. And I think Drew Brees, Jimmy Graham at home with Mark Ingram running the way that he's running, I think they're a lock for the win.
Now, that was very, very big of Andy to give so much high praise to the all-pro tight end, Jimmy Graham, because, of course, the tight end that basically has your attention, affection even, I would say, is Rob Gronkowski.
He has my heart.
Who your Patriots
yeah.
are going to Indianapolis to play Andrew Luck and the Colts, who are another team that can be red hot. How can the Patriots go in there on a hot streak themselves and take one away in Indy?
Well, I think they did. Belichick does a great job game planning for every team. And, you see in interviews, he always says, we find out what you do best, and we try to take that away from you, so you're left with everything else. And so coming off a bye week, Belichick, Brady having 2 weeks to game plan for a team, I think that's a good position for them. And Andrew Luck playing crazy this year. He's playing out of his mind. That whole team is just playing really well. Had a couple bad losses. Who would have thought that Ben Roethlisberger would light him up for 6 touchdowns through the air? But they're still, you can't take them lightly, and that's a big AFC game that's going to have some implications later on in the year when the playoff picture is coming out.
Well, Dave, the Colts, Reggie Wayne of the Colts, been to the Pro Bowl a bunch of times. He actually said, despite him playing with Marvin Harrison before, Edgerrin James, Peyton Manning, that he said this year's Colts team is the most talented he's ever been on. T.Y. Hilton having a MVP caliber performance, lighting up the league as far as stats. What does the Colts offense have to do to basically slow down the Patriots defense and really wear those guys out?
What's on the shoulders of Andrew Luck? And Tom Brady's 2-0 against him in his career. Andrew Luck's one of the rising stars of the NFL, but it might not be his time just yet. I definitely got the Patriots winning this game, but if you just slow the game down and limit Tom Brady's time onto the field, because Tom Brady himself, he's the guy that likes to orchestrate what's going on in the game. Mm-hmm. He slowly drives the ball and then he punches it in. So you don't want to leave too much time left on the clock for a last minute heroic by Tom Brady, because he's had several in his career. So just slow the game down and make sure you capitalize on every possession.
Mm-hmm. Well, the odds makers in Las Vegas actually favor Andy, your Patriots, but Guamanians throughout the world on KUM.com/Pick'ems favor the Colts in this game, so it's going to be interesting to see how this one splits out. All right, Dave, we'll start with you for our parting shots. What game did you have the most trouble picking here in Week 11?
The Chiefs and Seahawks. The Chiefs have been a team that, aren't a big scoring team, but like I said, it's about minimizing the amount of time you have your opponents taken to the field. Now, Alex Smith is a system-type quarterback, and if they're able to run their offense the way they should be able to score some points and hopefully keep Seattle out of the end zone enough times to squeak out a win. So I picked the Chiefs there. It was a tough decision, but I'm going with KC.
All right, and Andy, I walked by the FM air station when you had your show, of course, a very fine radio show, and you were kind of like staring there, you know, like rubbing the chin for a while. Which game actually caused you to stress out a little bit?
There's a couple of them that I looked at, like the Falcons-Panthers. It's a divisional game in the NFC South, which is just terrible this year. So many weapons, though, on all teams. On the rosters look great, but neither of these teams, any of them in the division, have been able to put together a good run. And it's Falcons at the Panthers. You see Cam Newton, he's just walking in that last game, having trouble standing up. He was just walking gingerly. I don't think he's 100%, but I mean, at this point in the season, nobody really is. So that one was tough. Atlanta, of course, they've got the wide receivers there on the outside that can, hurt anybody. Matt Ryan, you can't count him out. So that one right there, divisional game. Look for both of these teams to step it up and get back on track.
All right, interesting choice, gentlemen. 49ers and the Giants, that's going to be another big one because lots of local love for both San Francisco and New York. Check out KUAM.com/pick'ems, everybody, to see how you did and see how we did. Some of us starting to slip while some of...
I made a run and now I'm kind of backsliding a little bit, so hopefully I'll get it together this week.
Yeah, well, good luck to us and good luck to everybody. That's week 11. We'll see you next week right here at Chili's.